to see if the Blues can get back on the winning trail, because they lost last time out, which hadn't happened for a long time. It was only on Monday night, and it shouldn't have happened, to be honest. In front early, thanks to George McEachran's tidy free kick against Derby County away at the Loughborough University Stadium, and 1-0 could and should have become 2 here. Archie Brown fouling one of this season's standout performers, Tino Livramento, but Brian Fearbema, who really needs a goal, missed from the spot, and 1-0 did not become 2-0 after the break. Derby got back level here. Cameron Cresswell just the most alive player in the box, really. Dujon Sterling a little on his heels there. And Cresswell popped in for 1-1, and then 3 minutes to go, this happened. Carlo Ziga, whoops, came out, missed it, and Cresswell had 2. And Derby had the win, and it was the first defeat at PL2 level since the Blues lost back-to-back games way back when at the start of the autumn against both halves of Merseyside. 5th at the moment as a result, but as you can see, it's very tight and there are games in hand on absolutely everybody, so every chance of going higher. Liverpool struggling down there, oddly for them, in 10th position as things stand. So a quick chance, just 4 nights on Tommy Langley to get right back on the horse.
Yes, absolutely that. I mean, very rare that they suffer defeats at any level, but yeah, that's a reversal they need to change, and obviously big game tonight, Liverpool. I mean, they'll be well up for this, and we know the history of the first team and the youth teams, and now it's the PL2 to take centre stage, and they're looking forward to seeing a few faces that we've not seen a lot of, Ben. One of them in particular, number 11 there, Harvey Val. Gary's a youth team player, now playing in the PL2, so been promoted very early. Looking forward to see how he stacks up tonight.
Talented boy, the baby of the team tonight. Just 17 years of age, Harvey Vale. Getting a little run in the side, just his 3rd appearance, as I mentioned, because, not least because Miles Pert-Harris and Marcel Lewis, and indeed Henry Lawrence, have been missing for a little while now. Andy Myers making his way across the turf. Liverpool will come and join soon, I'm sure. This is a contagious thing that seems to be happening at Stamford Bridge all the time, with the Oppo never ever getting out there in time because they're coming from the Chelsea club. It keeps happening. Chelsea out on the pitch, ready to play. And no Oppo in sight. Maybe they're scared of Andy Myers, and with good reason. He wasn't called Tyson for nothing. Let's have a look at the team news tonight. A couple of changes from Andy Myers. Dion Rankin comes in to start at wing-back, replacing George Nunn. In terms of the 2 changes from that Monday night game, the other is in goal. Ethan Wadey, the young American, who we saw against Arsenal, making his PL2 debut, is in for Carlo Ziga. And we think it'll look a little something like this, although Livramento and Dion Rankin will probably go the other way round, but we shall see. We'll wait and see on that. Maybe Andy Myers has got a little something sneaky for us. As for Liverpool, here's their side. You may well know the name of Ben Woodburn. He's gone a bit cold after looking a real hot prospect 2 or 3 years back. Kumetio, Clarkson and Kane have all played Senior Cup football for Jurgen Klopp. There is Ben Woodburn, Liverpool's youngest ever scorer, and Wales's 2nd youngest ever scorer on debut as a 17-year-old. He's had a few loans that haven't really worked out for him. 21 now, ripe old age, and looking for a home. Who knows? Liverpool have stopped scoring. Maybe they should pick him in the first team. The referee tonight is Matthew Russell. Daniel Simiu back in the throng for the Blues, having missed out a couple of games ago for the first time, and he's played every game except that Arsenal match. Woodburn indeed will be captaining the side. Liverpool no win in 6. They have lost 4 of their last 5, and quite spectacularly so. They conceded 6 at home last time to Man U, 4 at home to Spurs, and 7 at home to Man City, all in the last few weeks. And it's odd because they've not been playing a young side. A lot of these players won the Youth Cup when Chelsea let someone else have a go a couple of years ago for once, under the coach who's now in charge of them, Barry Lutus. But it can happen at PL2 level. You can have these odd runs and long breaks without play as well. The Blues went 49 days without until they got back to action with that Arsenal match that Tommy and I were watching for you the last time we were together, Tommy. And well, that was a good game, and a lot of them have been actually in PL2 this season. There's been a lot of 2-2s and 3-2s and comebacks and games of two halves.
Yeah, very entertaining, the Arsenal game, and the one before that was Spurs at this stadium here, and that was a real quality game as well, and plenty of incident with Danny Drinkwater getting sent off, Petacek playing in goal. But different test again tonight. Liverpool, they said they want to put that right. That's, as you said earlier, it's a bit of a rare occasion when they lose as many games as they have at PL2 level. You know the talent, and they got first team quality in here that have played in the first team regular. Yes, Ben Woodburn just pushing over Levi Colwell there.
Yes, Dion Rankin, the shirt is the giveaway, is with the number 7 shirt, will be the right wing back. Tino Livramento's been bombing up and down that right flank all season, either as a right back or a right wing back, and sometimes an out-and-out right winger. Another nudge on that far side, this one not given as a foul. Simiu on Leighton Stewart, the number 9.
I have to say, it looked like a free kick to me. Donald Simiu just half a pace behind the striker there, and give him a little bit of a nudge, but give a throw on away. No free kick given.
Kumetio with the touch there. Liverpool's number 5, the centre-half there. That's a good ball. Here's Dion Rankin. Oh, no one made the run he was looking for.
No, Tiana Bala went to make the run, stopped, and obviously it looks as though it's a poor decision, but I think it's Tiana Bala who's created that issue there for Dion Rankin. If he'd made the run, the ball was on.
Away! Yes, Kenny, come out.
Marcelo, Brazilian, Liverpool's goal. These two met relatively early on in the season. Quite a different Liverpool side. It was a 3-1 victory up on Merseyside. And, it was the second last goal, actually, that Brian Feabema scored in a late penalty consolation in that game. He scored one in the Youth Cup after that. Really needs a goal. Coming up for 5 months without one, which is no good for a number 9, really. The funny thing is, though, we've seen plenty of his games. He's played well in a lot of them. That Arsenal game was a perfect case in point. He had a great chance to turn 2-1 into 3-1 in that match, and missed it.
And that's probably missing that chance. Again, showed lack of confidence. If you remember, he just tried to really belt it as opposed to place it. And the goalkeeper's position was wrong as well. And when you're out of form, that's what happens. And we've seen it at first team level with Timo Werner. You just need a tap in, and all of a sudden you're back on the route again. So let's hope he gets one tonight, an opportunity to stick the ball in the back of the net.
Oh, that's a chunky challenge coming in.
That's
there.
a yellow card all day long.
Real chop on Livramento, who, as we know, gets going on the gallop at pace.
That's a shocker. I mean, and the problem with that was it was the pace, Ben. The pace he's gone at the fullback there, Connor Bradley. Look at him here, just gets it out of his feet, knocks it there, just nicks it as the defenders make the challenge, and that's shin high. That's almost bordering on a red. It was that high.
Connor Bradley will have to be on best behaviour now. Right, here's Harvey Vale. Oh, that was a risk from Kumetio. What's he doing there? Great chance early on, 1-0. Liverpool defensive lapse. Punished by Tiano Ballo in the opening minutes here. Fabulous finish. A bit of a gift to begin with, but it needed some finishing, and Tiano Ballo's provided it. What a great start, Tommy.
What a crazy start. I have to say, they played out from the back very early on in the game, and I thought it was a little bit tight there, but trying to do a drag back on the edge of the box as a centre-half, that is criminal. I mean, the bench are going mad. Not there, Billy, not there, they're shouting, but Kumetio had every chance to get it clear, decides to try and do a drag back. Chelsea nicked the ball off him. That's a real good finish. He's still got plenty to do there, Thierry Oballo, but steers it into the far post, and a great way to start the game. But shocking decision from the centre-back there to try and do a drag back on the edge of his own box.
Well, he went a long time without a goal, Thierry Oballo. He had a great pre-season, was in the goals early in the campaign, didn't score again till the Arsenal match that Tommy and I were just talking about. Now that was an early goal there, and he had a couple of chances in the first few minutes, actually, in that match, then did score his third chance, and he's taken that one there. Honestly, I understand that people play out from the back now, and that is encouraged, but not the Zinedine Zidane pirouette on the edge of your own box. What was Billy Kimetio thinking?
Well, it was a shocking decision, but you made the point just from kick-off there about the amount of goals they've conceded in this last few games, and that's probably why. If they're making decisions like that on the edge of their own box, then you can fully understand why they're conceding 7 against Man City and 6 against Man United.
Maybe they've been watching the first team of late. Sort of gaff that Jurgen Klopp's been seeing a fair bit of. Kimetio started a Champions League game for Klopp in December when they'd already got themselves sorted for qualification. Liverpool do not do that at any level.
Stay high, Lou!
Simple bowl out there for Ethan Wading.
Well done, Connor!
Teenage American in goal. There's been a lot of chopping and changing in goal for the Blues at this level this term.
He played in the Arsenal game recently, didn't he? Which you and I both did, and he did okay. I mean, a couple of decisions that he made coming out for balls that maybe they weren't on. But the more games he plays, the more he'll get used to that. But he made one great save in the second half when Arsenal were putting us under pressure, and that would have given him some confidence, I'm sure.
Well done.
Simeon to Rankin. Early ball in search of the goal scorer, Barlow. Jake Kane here. Scored one of the 3 when Liverpool beat the Blues earlier this season, Jake Kane. Been on a couple of Premier League benches as well. Played in the FA Cup last season as well. Here goes Livramento again. Bradley couldn't foul him that time, and getting back to help him was Lewis Longstaff.
Well, you see there that Bradley, he can't make another challenge as rash as the first one was, because he'll definitely get another yellow card and he'll be off. But we need Livramento to get at him now, really chase him down at our left and give him a going.
Here comes Sterling. He was on the charge and the ball suddenly got played to him. Dujon Sterling wins Chelsea a corner.
Again, good movement down the right. So Dujon Sterling, a great pace. We know he's got that, and quality when he gets into that final third. Well blocked by the defender.
More pressure on the ball, so they can't do that one.
In from Livramento, just a bit too deep.
I have to say, Tino's looking at people there. So, you know, that's obviously a planned set piece there. The ball was played short with George McKechnie and played it out to Tino. Tino's just dinked the ball to the far post, and I think someone's got to be challenging for that. One of the centre halves. All 3 seem to be in the same space, and they didn't sort of get on the end of it. It wasn't as bad as it looked.
Yes, Ben. Yes, Ben.
Bamer with the squeeze.
Yes, Leon.
Nothing silly from Kimetio this time. They let it bounce, and it's amazing how often that happens.
Yeah, play your way in, Ben. Play your way in.
Woodburn. This is Tyler Morton, and then Livramento backfilling in.
Come on! Hi, Jake!
Harvey Vale scored a beauty in the Youth Cup. You may have been with us on the 5th stand up for that in the demolition of Barnsley. 8 scored and 6 of them were worldies. His was one. 30-yard lob, absolutely brilliant. Here's Rankin. Neatly flipped round the corner. Chelsea have started well. Ballow's in for a second here. Either corner and he's in business, but it's straight at Marcelo.
Again, Dion Rankin makes a great little run in behind the defenders here. He cuts the ball back, and Thierry Ballow's there again. Great little bit of skill to cut inside the 2 defenders. Just can't, he gets it out of his feet well. Just can't get enough purchase on that left-footed shot to test the goalkeeper.
It's a good chance there. Done the hard work to open up.
Yeah, when he's got it, just keep honest and go there. Hey.
Kingsmeadow launches it again. Not the best, but it wasn't a pirouette on the edge of his own box. Rankin in a slightly unfamiliar position. Will have Andy Myers in his ear all half long, I'm sure. For the first half, anyway, yes. Longstaff. Tracked all the way by George McEachran.
Go on, you two, 2v1. Yep. Higher up. Again, Lou, get it again. Get it again. Good, Lee. Yeah, yeah.
It's a neat little flick round the corner from Clarkson.
Looks neat and tidy, Clarkson, already in his opening sort of 10 minutes. Gets on the ball, looks tidy, yeah.
Well, he started the Champions League game in December.
Good, well done.
The same one that Kingsmeadow did against Midtjylland, and he played cup football last season and this season, so he's one of those, I guess, Tino Angerin equivalent, really, just knocking on the door in that little stable of next one's off the rank kind of thing.
Well, you can understand it with Kingsmeadow. He looks a big physical boy, obviously left-footed, looks like he's got a bit of pace about him. Obviously that was a horrendous mistake for the goal, but you can see why physically, why he's able to be in that first team squad and in and around, especially when the cup sides that don't really have the dead rubbers, you know.
Lovely from Livramento, good skill, and then the pass, wing back to wing back. Here comes Dion Rankin.
Brilliant, that hole.
I mean, it's a great play again on the left-hand side. Tino Livramento, it doesn't fail to impress me. Every time I see him, he gets better and better. And it's a great ball out here to Dion Rankin. Takes the fullback on, does well, gets in the box, and then please replace Divots almost. I think he almost kicked the ground. The ball bobbled a little bit, ended up being a nothing. But Tino started off, great bit of play down the left.
Vale, you know you can put it anywhere into the space, and Livramento will probably get there.
Good, Louis. Higher, Jay. Good, good.
Flying wing backs. Very much a thing at the moment for Thomas Tuchel, of course. Callum Hudson-Odoi. Not quite reinvented there, but there's a bit of that going on. Chelsea subs just scrolling through there. If you don't recognise the name of Declan Frith, well, nor did we. I'll be honest with you, he's a trialist. It would be his first go. May or may not see him later. Soon Sup Bell, the under-18s leading scorers there. That's a teasing ball. Very difficult to try and get it through to Leighton Stewart, but they've got the next best thing, and that's a corner.
I think Dino Simmons looking at his goalkeeper there, Ethan Wadey. I think he's got to come out. The ball's just played into a space there. There's plenty of room for him to make a decision earlier. He starts to come forward, then goes back, and he creates the problem for Levi Colwill there. And if he makes his mind up earlier, it's an easy decision.
Captain doing the organising, having done the necessary defending. Safety first. It's a short corner from Liverpool.
Oh.
And then a cross that I can only presume hit the wrong side of his boot. Either that or a horrendous bobble, but I doubt that on the Kingsmeadow pitch. Well, here's a look at the goal. Vale's ball didn't work, but nor did that drag back. Livramento involved as usual. It's a lovely finish, isn't it? Such a clean, straight hit.
Yeah, it's a great strike, and Owen Beck comes across trying to get a block in, but it's a real good finish, low and down into the corner. Amazing, Ben. You look at this stage here. You know the Arsenal game with Marcel Lewis was absolutely outstanding, and tonight, for whatever reason, he's not in the squad. Don't know if he's got a little bit of an injury or whatever, but he was the best player on the pitch against Arsenal. But again, you know, you look now, all of a sudden, it gives a chance to Dion Rankin, who I think was on the bench that day, to come in and do his job, and he started the game very brightly.
Get the ball, time. Hey, come on, ref. Ref.
Yes, been missing Marcel, along with Henry Lawrence and Miles Peart-Harris for a couple of games now, and does bring chances for others. You think how many are out on loan.
Yes, Yes, Ben.
An under-23 team that Chelsea could put out.
Ben,
Would
Ben,
include people like Mark Gurhey and Conor Gallagher, and even Ethan Ampadu. Longstaff here. Simiyu again gets the touch. It'll be another corner. Liverpool were hoping for something more, I think.
Yeah, it's a good run from Longstaff from that right-hand side. He makes a good little run into the box, well fed by Ben Woodburn there, and all of a sudden, Darnell Simiyu comes across, makes contact with him, but there's no way it's going to be a penalty, but it definitely was a corner.
Liverpool have settled a little after that early setback. Bale gets rid.
Come on!
Livramento.
Love that.
Morgan Boys was trying to keep up with him.
Morgan Boys was treading water, but unfortunately Tino Livramento just lost his balance at the last moment, and the touch went too far in front of him. Conor Bradley rescued the situation, but every occasion he loves running at defenders, doesn't he?
Tino missed the Liverpool game because he was suspended. He just had a quite brilliant performance in a super match against Derby that Chelsea won 3-2, but he got sent off right at the end of it, needlessly. Otherwise, he's ever present. Rankin with the cross. Way too close to Marcelo. Here comes the pressure. It's floaty and not hugely helpful from Marcelo, but it's thumped out by the left back, Owen Beck.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Chelsea aren't giving them any respite when they get the ball at the back. Predominantly, they're starting to press quite early on and make it tight for them. They played the well out of that really, really well there, Liverpool. Now got the ball now third.
Yeah, give him it, Boise.
Manchester City are playing tonight. They've scored.
Yes, Billy!
There with Chelsea. Blackburn won earlier on. It's very tight at the top of the PL2 table. Chelsea winners last year on the classic old way, points per game. Same way that the women won the WSL. The difference there being that the women weren't actually top, were they? But they had a game in hand, and that crucially made the maths work. Chelsea were top with 4 games to go. And unbeaten as well, despite a fair few scares and a lot of late comebacks. Only lost 3 times in the league this term. A lot of these boys have been playing in the Football League Trophy as well. There are a couple of defeats in that as well. But in league terms, back-to-back against the 2 halves of Merseyside. And then Monday night at Derby. That is not bad with a side that changes a lot to only be beaten 3 times over.
Great ball.
That's nicely worked. Livramento with Fia Baymat and Ballo in the middle. And Bale can't do much more than that. Corner.
Great move. George McEachran and Lewis Bate, great little bit of play. Ball went out to left-hand side, and again, Harvey Val done really well in this opening 18 minutes. He's shown up quite nicely, makes a run outside Tino Livramento, feeds the ball to the near post. Defender comes across and clears it, but a really good bit of play again in that midfield area.
Yeah, make sure you bounce in, boys.
Got good creativity, Harvey Vale, and half a dozen goals this term as well. That's at youth team level. Well, good luck, Marcelo. Well, it's not a good corner, but it nearly turned into a handy one. Just too crowded there. Plus, it was on McEachran's right foot.
Yeah, you can see if it was on his left, George having a little strike there, but he didn't, and decided to keep possession.
Nice ball, Ethan Wadey. Accurately getting Chelsea up the pitch.
Not too deep, Lou. Not too deep, Lou.
Higher, maybe with it, very good.
Colwell, real steady Eddie at the back this term. He's been good, Levi Colwell. Generally next to Captain Simeon. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's Bate, just a little drop of the shoulder, bit of acceleration. Pass didn't quite work out. Woodburn having to drop deep to try and get involved.
Yeah, and that's where you want Ben Woodburn. He's got good experience. He's been on loan, and you want him in the areas because he's more effective in the final third.
Around it, then. Come on, around it. Yes, Luke.
Simeon nods out the long ball from Commetio. McEachran onto it quickly. Vale did well to win the free kick there, I think.
Yeah, he did. He bought that. His first touch wasn't the best. This is Lewis Bate. Look at that. Great little bit of turn of acceleration there. And plays the ball forward, which actually doesn't get to its target. But again, one that impresses me every time I see him.
Two diminutive, very tidy-looking number 6s up against each other there. Leighton Clarkson tries to be the one who makes Liverpool tick through the middle, and Bates been very good at doing that for a while.
Well, hold up. Hold the papers, read all about it. Tino Livramento give a ball away. I haven't seen that for a while.
Going into Woodburn again.
But he's got it right across.
Keeps dropping deep to get involved. Not where he wants to be doing his work, as Tommy just said. Clarkson, well, he was in there for a second, Beck. If his touch had been any good, but it really wasn't.
Well, it's twice Owen Beck's had an opportunity, and his first touch has let him down, and that went off for a throw. And if his first touch is better, as you said, he gets it out of his feet, he smashes it into the box.
Maybe just an instance there of communication with. You've got your right-sided centre-half in Sterling, who's got to be helping out Dion Rankin, who's not... He's played a little bit of full-back, Dion Rankin, but not generally. He's more a wide man in an attacking sense. So in the same way you like having Aspilicueta there for Callum Hudson-Odoi, who's been doing it a lot for Thomas Tuchel so far.
Yeah.
And I think Callum's actually quite quickly improved at that defensive side. I really noticed it in the last game when he played
Newcastle. Yeah, he's been excellent, I have to say, going forward and defensively. I think he's learning his trade well. But I think you're right again, Ben, about tonight. That will do him the world of good having Dujon Sterling behind him with his experience. Again, he's one who's been on loan.
He's just pleased to be playing some football himself, Dujon. Here he is, like George McEachran. Latest loan spell didn't really work out. The one before did. At Wigan, he had a lot of injury problems, Dujon Sterling. But before that, he played a whole season, started nearly every game for Cov. What a ball, typical McEachran to Livramento. And Colwell, the Chris Wilder mould of the overlapping centre-half there.
Yeah. Well, they've got freedom to play, and he doesn't put him in shackles. He's just go and do your thing.
Sterling comes to help out Rankin there. Free kick given.
Yeah, I didn't see much when he played the ball. I think he was overplayed. I didn't see much contact there, I have to say, but the referee saw something that I didn't.
Boyce, see if you can help Connor so he can get out quicker.
Yeah, just catches in with his follow-through. I was
Couldn't
watching
help
the ball.
himself, could he?
No, I was watching the ball to Dujon Sterling. Saw it go out and didn't see the late contact. So it was actually a free kick, good decision.
Just too eager, needless free kick, and as you say, ball was out of play. Would have been a Liverpool throw. Instead, it's a chance to put some quality into the Reds' box here. It's not going to be McEachran, probably.
What's the shot?
Be Bate, or maybe Livramento. What's the shot, says Barry Lutus. Yes, it will be Bate. Looking for that far stick. It's a great ball, and it's right across the face. Whistle's gone anyway.
What a great ball that is, it to the far stick. And again, there's only one Chelsea player. I think it was Harvey Val, who eventually got on to the end of it, but unfortunately too late. But they were expecting the shot, as you said. Have a look at this again. I don't know why.
Oh, it's Colwell.
It's Colwell at the far stick. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it was Levi Colwell at the far stick and rescued it, but just couldn't get it back before it went over the line. No, it's not gone over the line.
I think he just went a bit early. Must have been offside.
Offside, yeah.
Beware of that pocket, the back line's deep it. The back line's dropping.
Good friend on the touchline there, Gregorz Kornazjevic. His name scores 4,000 in Scrabble. Here comes Dion Rankin. Ballo. If you're coming in late, his goal very early on. Good again
Lewis.
from Lewis Bate, and then sadly gave it away to Stewart.
Yeah, just overplayed it there, didn't he? He had an option to make a pass, but decided to run with it. Tiano Ballo gives a free kick away, and I think
cheeky trip.
it was a cheeky
well
one.
to get away with a yellow card, without a yellow card.
Right in front of the referee as well, so you'd think he would get a yellow card for it. Yeah. Ben Woodburn just got in front of it there, cut across him as good players do, and as you said, he's just made contact there.
Busy half hour. Couple of shots, fouled a couple of times, and a yellow card to go with his goal. Tiano Ballo.
Louis, you okay? Yeah, play late.
Woodburn to Clarkson.
Lucky bet.
As soon as we attack him, let's be tight on.
Outside the island. Yeah,
Clarkson to Kane.
Yes, Lou.
Morgan Boyce.
Again, Boise, again.
Well, centre half with an ambitious pass that Colwell has got to first. Maybe just the run there of Bradley across him made him take his eye off the ball because he's headed it sideways.
Yeah, it wasn't the best header. I think he won't be pleased with that. But again, it's just a long ball to put us in a little bit of trouble. It's a nothing ball, really. Should have been defended better.
Morton's cross, catching practice for Ethan Wade. He's had a very quiet half hour here. Long may that continue.
Doesn't play round, you know.
Only played once for the 18s, Ethan Wadey. 2 now for the PL2. Levi Colwell almost overstretched himself, but he actually did very well in the end. Livramento into Ballo. Kumetio gets a toe in, but Chelsea will have a corner.
Again, great play from the back. I mean, Levi Colwell just made fantastic ground there, and he took 3 or 4 Liverpool forwards out of play there as they were trying to press and enable Ballo to get the ball eventually. But again, the big centre half comes back, Kumetio, and gets it clear. But good play at the back from Chelsea.
Bate the short option for Livramento. Will it be the out-and-out in-swinger? They put 2 out there, Liverpool, in case they do go short, and indeed it will be all the way in. It's deep. Colwell got his head there. It's a chance. Harvey Vale just waiting to see if there's a flag. I don't think there was.
I don't think there was either, and all the Liverpool defenders are looking around at the assistant and saying to him, you know, Lino, put your hand up, put your flag up. But I have to say, when the ball was knocked back, he looked way offside to me. And I think Harvey Vale thought he was offside as well, because he didn't really make much of an effort to get it. Chance begging there.
Shouting on to him, I'm just letting you know that from.
Forward by Morton. Colwell, excellent. Might have done him a disservice by saying he'd had a steady season. He's been better than that, actually. But what I meant from that was he generally looks absolutely unflappable. He reminds me a little bit of when we used to see Andreas Christensen play as an 18-year-old. Just
But no,
minimum of fuss, rarely has to break into a sprint, kind of cruises into positions and deals with them tidily. He's not chucking himself in the way of everything. He kind of leaves that to Daniel Simeo a bit more.
Totally agree. I'm not saying he's in the same class. It reminds me a little bit of Thiago at the moment, what he seems to be doing, because he doesn't seem to break sweat in games. And not only did the turn there, but the actual pace on the ball to beat the Liverpool defender was superb.
Louis, they don't get out now. Ben, they don't get out.
Barry Lutus sprinting from the touchline, and he doesn't want Chelsea to be able to get out.
I have to say, Ben, half an hour in, neither number 9 has been sighted with radar. There's been a lot of good play from other players, but there's a chance here for Fiabima. Oh, again, centre-half just gets the toe to it back to his goalkeeper, but chased a lost cause there. But neither number 9's really impressed in this game so far.
Bate with the switch. Oh. There's Rankin. It's an easy pass that when you're as good as Lewis Bate is at doing it. Rankin's cross and another Chelsea corner coming.
Brilliant play all round. Lewis Bate, absolutely fantastic. 50-yard ball to feet. Rankin goes at the fullback, gets past him. It's a good ball in. Defender does well to get it clear. Great bit of play again from Chelsea. You know, the game's crying out for left-footers. You look at the two left-footers we got in midfield here, Lewis Bate and George McEachran, absolutely top grade. Ironically, they're two centre-halves. I noticed are both left-footers. And the world are screaming for them, but they got two and one's playing on the right, obviously.
Oh, little flick at the near post.
Bit of afters there. I think Daniel Simu got involved. I think Daniel Simu's got involved there with Morgan Boys. And you can see the referee having a word with both of them there.
Matthew Russell, the referee. Just have a little look there.
Didn't really look a lot there, Ben, did there? Maybe in a bit of afters, a bit which we didn't see when it panned away.
Some neat and tidy moments, especially from Chelsea. Neither keepers really had a lot to do. Of course, Barlow's put one past Marcelo, but we've not really seen him making saves, and Wadey at the other end's had a very quiet half hour. Bate. McEachran.
Good, Louis. With them tight.
George McEachran was on loan at Maastricht. Didn't really get a lot of game time, just 3 appearances for them. Better off back doing this, I guess. Nice ball. Wing back to wing back. Dion Rankin, great chance for 2-0.
And again, Ben, the play down the left hand, they're playing through the press. Liverpool trying to get as tight as they can, but Tino Livramento cuts infield. The ball's fantastic. His first touch is brilliant. Just want to get it out of his feet. It's exactly what he does. He's just trying to drill it in the far post like Tierno Ballo did for the goal, and just misses that far stick. Would have been a fantastic goal. Unfortunately, he doesn't hit the target.
We've seen wing back to wing back 2 or 3 times now. Well, Dion Rankin came on as a sub in the first game of the season, scored the only goal of the game within a couple of minutes. That was against West Ham. And, chances have been few and far between to add to that tally since, but that was a good one. That and the one that Ballo put straight at the keeper earlier. Mentioned Marcelo not really been making saves. That was a routine one, it shouldn't have been. Chelsea have had 2 really good chances to turn 1-0 into 2.
We've also had the Harvey Val header, which, I mean, it looped up. There's 3 or 4 chances there that could have put us 2 or 3 goals up, but we're keeping him in the game at the moment. It's a great little ball as well. Maybe overhit, is it?
No, he's got there, Rankin. He's just overhit it, but the danger remains. Livramento. Vale! Oh! Sliding in was Fiabema. It might have gone in with him or without him, but it's somehow fizzed right past him, and still it's 1-0.
Well, that link up on the left-hand side has been good. Livramento to Val, just thinking a little ball down the channel there, and he drives it into that. And Fiabema, look, he's desperate to get on the end of that. As I said earlier about a tap-in the 6-yard box, that's what this young man needs, but he's just overhit there from Harvey Val.
Well, you just hope it's not recent history repeating itself. Blues were 1 up and the better side, and should have been more than 1 up on Monday night at Derby. Ended up missing a penalty and losing the match late on. Definitely the better side here. The lead should be more than 1, but it's not. It's Longstaff. Beck takes it, and that is a solid challenge. Didier Drogba doesn't move anywhere because he's made of rock.
Yeah, to be fair, he timed his challenge really, really well there. I mean, he could have dived in there, but he stayed on his feet. And when the ball, his first touch here, takes him into that area, he can actually come across earlier, but he doesn't. Stands his ground, doesn't dive in, makes a decision for the defender there, and gets a goal kick out of it. Good defending.
I think you could have 2 of Owen Beck. They still wouldn't be as big as Didier Drogba. One looks like a boy, and the other like a very big man. Poor touch in the middle, but he's atoned for it, Leighton Clarkson.
He's a good player, the kid. Very alert, very sharp, good on the ball, and as you said, a bit like Lewis Bate and Jules McCracken for us, makes them tick.
He's looking for options here, and he didn't have a lot.
Quick, Willie, quick! Yes, Ben, get the ball. Go on then.
Woodburn.
Again, that's where you want Ben Woodburn. You want him out here just in front of the fullback's gone past him. I mean, he's trying to get hold of the ball, but not in these areas.
Keep moving the ball. Move the ball quick, Willie.
Chelsea have done a much better job of stopping Liverpool playing through those central lines, for sure. That's better from Woodburn. They got 2 in the box for this cross. It's a great chance. It should be 1-1, and it is. Jake Kane has scored against Chelsea again. First bit of incisive play. Got in behind down the right, and it looked like a goal the moment the ball was coming to him, in fairness. And after all those chances at the other end, Chelsea have indeed been pegged back, and that's annoying.
Well, you made that point 2 or 3 minutes ago. That's Tino Livramento not being a fullback there. The ball gets played inside him. The fullback makes a really good run, gets onto it, Conor Bradley, picks a nice pass out, and it's a simple finish from Jake Kane there. His first touch is good. That's what makes it. Gets it out of his feet. He can then pick his spot.
Goal scorer home and away against the Blues this season then, Jake Kane. And Chelsea must try and re-establish the lead that should have been more comfortable than the 1-0 was. That'll frustrate Andy Mars a lot. Those wasted opportunities, especially now. But plenty of promise that more can come. 8 minutes to the break, all square. Chelsea in 5th, Liverpool in 10th. Games in hand for the Blues on everybody, actually, up there, because they went so long, had a couple of games called off at the start of this year. Didn't play at all in January. There was a foul there.
Yeah, Harvey Vale's going up there to sort of catch it on his chest there, I think, and the centre half, I think it's Morgan Boyes, has come right through him.
Barry Lutus on the right there is the man in charge. He took over from Stephen Gerrard with the youth team when Gerrard went up to Rangers. And then Neil Critchley was in charge of this.
Gary O'Neill with him, though, isn't it?
Yes,
just like having a chat
Gary
here,
O'Neill
which,
has
you know,
turned
Gary
up.
O'Neill, the ex-pro, well, I mean, West Ham and all sorts of clubs, so it's a poor ball from Tino, but Dion Rankin's on it, Ben.
Rankin here, 2 in the middle, more arriving, a lot of red in his way. He's looking to pick a little hole, and he's done brilliantly to get any sort of ball in. It's nodded behind by Bradley for another Chelsea corner.
And that was Levi Colwood there going for the header at the far stick. So we talk about freedom to express themselves, Andy Myers gives them, and on that occasion it definitely worked. But defender does really well. I think it's the fullback, Conor Bradley, just gets there in front of him.
Watch him running, lads.
More of the ball, better chances, and a whole lot more corners. But at the moment, it's all square. Livramento delivers for Chelsea again. No. Easily cut out by Woodburn. He can do a lot better than that. Coaches as well as players progressing up the ladder at academy levels. We've seen it plenty. Chelsea's academy, haven't we, over the years? Joe Edwards. Well before him, Lady Vivash and Dermot Drummy. Not much of a clearance. It's a chance. It's a goal. Ethan Wadey has helped Liverpool to a second in no time at all here. It's a good finish that from Morton, but it's a gift. We've seen one at either end now, in fairness, and somehow Liverpool are winning this match 2-1.
Well, we saw the highlights of the Monday night game. The goalkeeping error cost us the game. He's done it again there. I mean, his left foot. But I mean, Tyler does great there. I mean, Tyler Morton, he does really well. His first touch is good, and the skill to dink it over him. There's not a lot of space there. He does real good, but he's presented with a chance from the goalkeeper. It's a poor kick out, and got to do better than that.
Yes, it was Carlo Ziger at Derby who went walkabout and missed the ball, and Ethan Wadey, who's been so underemployed tonight, just disappointing distribution and a few hands on hips here. You can see George McEachran there. He's thinking, how on earth are we losing this game? But we are.
I mean, Andy Myers as a coach must be looking as if to say, what is going on here? I mean, it's a horrendous mistake there from the goalkeeper.
The chances have been created. There's no reason to think that won't continue to be the case. And Chelsea have done a lot of coming back into games from behind this term. You wouldn't have expected tonight would be one such night, the way it had started, but needs must now. Lewis Bate, too much.
Yeah, you don't want to force it. I mean, that wasn't really on. I think the ball to Tino Livramento was a better option there for Lewis Bate, but tried to kill a ball and it didn't work. But as I said, it's been a strange old game. Anybody watching this will not believe that Liverpool can be 2-1 up, because Chelsea have been by far the better side, missed 3 or 4 gilt-edged chances, but mistakes have been punished, and that second one there was horrendous from the young goalkeeper, and give them the opportunity.
Just as Andy Myers and John Harley have moved up, Barry Lutus has done that too. I mentioned he took over from Gerrard. He's now taken over from Neil Critchley, who's gone on to be Blackpool manager. Critchley was put in charge, you might recall, when Liverpool were at the Club World Cup last year. And so Critchley took some of these players to play a League Cup tie. I think it was Aston Villa, who ended up winning quite comfortably. Sort of funny thing you see happening. Morgan Boys wants a free kick for that.
Well, it was pretty dramatic, wasn't it? I don't think Fiobeamer does anything wrong, and the goalkeeper's gone down as well as though he's been shot. So it looks as though he's holding his hip as he's played that ball out. Maybe he's caught something.
Marcelo in some pain. I guess you'd be quite excited if you were him and Alisson Becker was at the club, your fellow Brazilian. You know, it'd be quite exciting for him.
You might think there's a route, mightn't you?
Treatment required. A stoppage here, which gives us a chance to a quick reprise of the goals in case you're coming in late this evening on the fifth stand-up. Chelsea, the better side, creating chances, but Billy Kumetio presenting it there, and a lovely finish from Tiano Ballo. He had a chance to make it to himself, and he wasn't the only one. Liverpool got level here. This just a little too simple. Tino Livramento, guilty of ball watching, didn't see Bradley coming behind him. Pretty simple finish that for Jake Kane, and then this was a moment to forget, unfortunately, for the young American keeper Ethan Wadey. Scuffed it, and Tyler Morton stuck it in for 2-1. But whatever it is for Marcelo, in fairness, you get so used to seeing players down looking in a lot of pain, you always think you'll probably be okay, because they all 99% of the time they do get up and they're okay. But it wasn't apparently not, because Jakub Olszynski is going to be on his way.
He was holding his right hip, wasn't it? And the sort of innocuous challenges are the worst ones. I mean, he looks as though, as I said, he's in a bit of pain. He's struggling to get off the pitch there, and looking around to sort of take his time so the goalkeeping substitute can get warmed up. But it was a bit of a weird injury, I have to say.
Curious one, right on half-time too. And there is Orzinski. Like all goalkeepers, you come in the knowledge you may well be needed, but you almost certainly won't. Probably just when you're sat down with your boots off and your gloves off and everything. That happens. Straight down the Kingsmeadow tunnel. Something on his hip or something.
Well, so as he's played the ball out to the right, to their left back position at our right. Obviously, he's gone over and held his hip, and it must be a muscle injury, I would imagine.
Right, well, that's while he's perhaps a little cold and not expecting. Maybe try out the keeper. 4 minutes added on, incidentally.
Yes, Steve. Come on then, come on.
It's a lovely ball down the channel. Kingsmeadow strong enough to hold off Brian Fearbema, who remained interested. Dion Rankin just nips in.
It's okay, Dom, come on!
Yeah, he certainly looks a big athletic boy, doesn't he, Kingsmeadow there? I think Fearbema had half a yard on him, but he got back and got the ball away. But I have to say with Fearbema, at least he's still trying and making them runs, Ben. Sometimes you tend to, you not score a goal for a while if things aren't going for you. You could definitely hide in the pitch sometimes, but he's not hiding today. He's trying to lead the line, but as I said, he just needs to get that name on the score sheet.
Like Ethan Wadey, this is just a second appearance at this level for Orzinski. Had a good few games for the youth team, but not PL2. Again, not ideal from Wadey. I mean, a little more solid than the one that gave away the goal, but they're... I thought they were going to be in it for a minute there with Leighton Stewart. You're so right about the number 9s, Tommy. We've seen a little bit of Fearbema. We've seen nothing of Leighton Stewart. I forgot he was even on the field. I don't think we've said his name.
No, I don't think we have. I think Morton's, great goal. Lewis Longstaff's been getting involved. Jake Kane with his goal as well. But Leighton Stewart really hasn't had any success. And the back three of Chelsea are really snuffing out any danger he can create.
A frustrating half, not because of the performance, just because one lapse of sorts from Tino Livramento and then a definite lapse from the keeper, and just out of nothing. The better side is trailing here. I don't want to sound like Jose Mourinho, but the best side did not win, as he has been saying a lot of this season. Wrongly, but here, I promise you it's the case. If you've just come in, you think, oh no, Liverpool must have been good. They really haven't. Chelsea have, but it's 2-1 to the Reds. Beck. To Kane. Nothing too ambitious. They don't want to give the ball away at this point. Can keep Chelsea out of their half for another minute. They'll be halfway to job done, but they've gone for an ambitious ball towards Longstaff.
They don't mind doing that. As much as they do play out from the back, Liverpool, they don't mind it in that long ball. They've hit it 2 or 3 times, and I think it's caught Chelsea by surprise. They haven't really got real powerful headers away, and they've picked up the second ball. So, as I say, you play all the pretty football you like. One long ball can create as much havoc.
Boys. Clarkson.
Oh.
Trying to pinch a third right on the break there. That's a nice idea, that pass. I nearly said the name of Leighton Stewart. And again, Clarkson. It's not the worst ball either, but it's well defended by Daniel Simier, who was fouled. That'll be the last action of note in this first period.
Stay high, Lou!
Well, it was an eventful first half, and it started very well with an early goal for Tiano Ballo after a shocking mistake from Billy Kingsmeadow, but mistakes have been the theme of the 45 minutes, to be fair. Liverpool in for Jake Kane to equalise. Second time he's scored against the Blues this season. And then another gift, this time coming, I'm afraid, from Chelsea keeper Ethan Wadey, allowing Tyler Morton to lob into a relatively empty net. And somehow, the half-time score at Kingsmeadow is Chelsea 1, Liverpool 2. The promise of better to come in terms of the result, we hope, after the interval. So Friday evening job for the PL2 boys, and it's an early start tomorrow for the seniors. Thomas Tuchel looking to oversee a 6th straight win. That'd be pretty impressive, wouldn't it, against Southampton, who are trying to avoid a 6th straight league defeat. Let's hope he can do it, and let's hear from the new boss now.
We're very happy that Tammy feels very good, and if things go well, he's in the squad. Thiago will be out for the game, and we have some issues with the calf of Christian Pulisic. Nothing big, just feels tight. Kai Havertz is back in training and can join us in Southampton. Edu is the number 1, and he deserves to be the number 1, and this is a sensitive position where you need to be clear. And you cannot hide your opinion in press conferences or of course not in the dressing room. Things have to be clear, and you cannot be afraid of it, and we are not, and so things have not changed. But he earned his right to play another game. He had 2 clean sheets, and it's the best a goalkeeper can have for his confidence. And of course we see that, because everybody, like Kepa, also loves to play, loves to have clean sheets. We need 3 strong goalkeepers, and we need everybody ready. We need all 20, 21, 22 guys in the field to be ready now. Whatever is needed. If we need them 5 minutes, you have to be ready for 5 minutes. If we need them from the beginning, it's from the beginning, half-time. If you have a bad decision, you're not in the squad, maybe next time we need you, you have to be ready. I think that Timo had a very good start, and a very, very clinical and very efficient start at Chelsea under Frank. Like every player is a change of clubs, is always a change of environment, a change of culture, a change of the league. Takes its time. I can only speak right now, but this is hypothetical, and can only speak of how I feel. There was no doubt that Timo will come back from this situation, because he has the quality, and it is a quality to play on more than only 1 positions, and it's like this.
A lot of fans are wondering about Hakim Ziyech. He's not getting a lot of game time. Is it because he's not 100% fit, or is it perhaps Callum Hudson-Odoi is doing a great job on that side?
It's my fault, actually. It's not his fault. It's my fault. It's my decisions. It's my hard decisions in the moment for Mason, for Callum, for Christian sometimes, and on the half positions where we see him the strongest. It's the same for Hakim in the moment, and for some other players. There were some hard decisions to make. This is a good thing. It's never easy, but it's a good thing, because that means we have quality to make hard decisions. I cannot say one bad thing for Hakim. He had a good training session yesterday. He's working hard. He needs to show that he's ready, because when the moment comes, and I cannot tell you now when the moment comes, but when it comes, we expect the best Hakim Ziyech, and this is how it sometimes is during some moments. It can be in a club like Chelsea, with a squad that keeps winning, and was a little bit out of that squad that started winning. Sometimes you have to wait. He's not the only guy who suffers from these decisions, and things will turn around if he takes care that he is in shape, if he takes care that he is in the right mood, if he takes care that he's ready when he's needed. Things will turn around again, I'm sure.
There'll be more pre, during and after Southampton at first team level on the 5th stand-up. But now let's just have a little look at the main moments from a pretty lively first half here between Chelsea and Liverpool at Kingsmeadow, with PL2 points on the line. Chelsea in 5th with games in hand, trying to get up top, and much the better side in the first half, but trailing despite going in front early. Tommy Langley, Tiano Ballo with the goal after the mistake from Kingsmeadow.
Yeah, Kingsmeadow, horrendous mistake, edge of the box, tries to drag back there as two people are closing him down. Tino Livramento nicks the ball off him, plays a good little ball to Ballo, and that's a quality finish. I mean, he's still got plenty to do there, but he hits the target and scores his goal.
Beautifully threaded right in between. Look at that. You're not saving that, Marcelo, the Brazilian keeper, who wouldn't actually quite last the half. But there were chances, and good chances, to turn 1-0 into 2-0. This was one of them for Dion Rankin, played in by Livramento. Pulled the shot.
Yeah, again, Livramento coming in from that left-hand side, plays a great little ball. His first touch is really good here, Dion Rankin. You're just praying he hits the target here, but he just drags his shot wide of that far post. Aims at the right post, just doesn't hit the target.
Dion Rankin, who scored the winner in the season opener, getting a chance as a wing-back tonight. He was making his forward run here, and Dujon Sterling's ball just held up for him. Wasn't a bad cross. Livramento again, you'll note from all of these chances that the wing-backs were heavily involved, and Harvey Vale slashing it across there. Could have scored himself, could have been cannoned in by Brian Feerbema.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Harvey Vale's trying to do here. I mean, there's too much pace on it to Feerbema to get onto it. Maybe he's having a shot at the same time and hoping he gets a deflection in, but neither happened.
And then, having not troubled Ethan Wadey all evening up to this point, Ben Woodburn, ball in behind Livramento, pulled back for Jake Kane, and a tidy finish for 1-1. Out of nothing, really.
Yeah, it was a simple goal. Ball played inside Livramento. I mean, obviously, he's not a natural fullback, and he gets caught out at his first touch here. Kane's really good. He just picks his spot. Keeper no chance, but Chelsea way on top. Find themselves 1-1.
Take your time, mate, it's fucking ages.
And then, having been flattered by a 1-1 scoreline, Liverpool must have been absolutely astonished to go 2-1 up. Ethan Wadey presenting it to Tyler Morton. Yes, it was an error. The more you see it, actually, he's taken it very well there, because he's on the sprint, Tyler Morton, but still, it's a gift.
It is a gift. I mean, he gets in front of Lewis Bate here. The ball bounces up lovely for him, but his awareness, the touch, the feel, it's a quality finish, but he shouldn't have that opportunity. The keeper's kick out is a real poor one. I think he's trying to pick out Lewis Bate, but it wasn't on. Just put it in the stand and defend the second ball. Didn't do it. Great finish.
Of course, the midfielders caught on their heels because none of them are expecting, you know, they're doing their job really by starting to turn and go forward. You can't ever make the presumption that that's going to happen. Right, let's just pop back onto first team duty for a moment. We're going to see the top 5 goals against the Saints in a minute after you've heard from the reborn Rudy.
Mighty dollar in the mighty tower of the trap. This is a brother son. Papa got the Maserati dancing on the bridge. Finish. Hello, this is Antonio, and this is my 90 seconds about music. My go-to song is from Burna Boy, Waitin Mangudu. No, I think music is to me based on like rhythm, beat. More, not like lyrics. Oh, who will you watch live? Travis Scott, because like his concerts are like very live. There's many. Like there's songs from Travis Scott. There's some songs from Afrobeat artists. There's a lot.
What's your stage name?
Like when I would be in a group, 44 Boys, because that's the place where I grew up. The number is 44, and yeah, I would call it like this. I would like to be the dancer there. Yes, at the moment it's like from Burna Boy, Waitin Mangudu, like in the beginning. It was from Lil Wayne, Amile. I'm a millionaire, I'm a young money millionaire, tougher than Nigerian hair, my criteria compared to your career, this isn't fair. I'm a venereal disease, pimp so elite of the tapping in my mind, cause when my second minutes, I was gone to the almighty dollar in the mighty tower of the trap. This is a brother son, Papa got the Maserati dancing on the bridge. Finish.
Lampard, Drogba, into Good Johnson again. That'll do it for Chelsea. Beautifully worked goal. Good Johnson second, and Chelsea now surely a home and dry.
That's a lovely ball from Fabregas to Hazard. He's got no support at the moment. He might have to go it alone. Friends are arriving now. Hazard goes for goal and finds it. Absolutely brilliant. Chelsea needed an equaliser. Eden Hazard has provided.
Trezeguet, the right fullback, leads the charge. Oh, lovely goal! A touch of class from Dan Trezeguet. Nicely done by Minto. That's a good ball. Hughes on the volley. Only ever one result. The most reliable volley of a ball in British football.
Great take from Hazard, and he's helped it on. Here's the chance for Giroud. He's dribbled it through. It's absolutely brilliant. Olivier Giroud in front of the Chelsea fans. What a start to the second half at Wembley. Half a minute played. Chelsea 1, Southampton 0. Some wonderful goals there. Let's hope we're talking about more of the same from St Mary's after tomorrow's match. Before it, from 11:20, join the Matchday Live gang here on the 5th Stand Out. What footwork from Giroud. What a volley from Mark Hughes. Youngsters, Google Mark Hughes volleys. You won't be disappointed. You'll probably still be on your computer an hour later. Tommy, do you ever score any great goals against Southampton?
Phenomenal. No, not against Southampton. Not a team I really did well against, ironically. And funny, I'm from Hampshire, and obviously I played a lot of my football at the old ground, the Dell, which was a lovely old ground to play at. But no, Southampton, no real joy against them. But you're so right, Ben. Mark Hughes, what a volley of a football he was. I mean, the technique, hit the target every time. You saw that goal there. I mean, it's a tremendous strike. Listen, don't go away from the Dan Petresco chip, by the way, because he had plenty to be doing, and the goalkeeper that day was 6'4", so that was a real good finish as well. And just on the music front there with Tony Rudiger, how are you on, I've written them down, Travis Scott and Lil Wayne? Of course I'm up on all of that. 63 years old, you know, I'm fluent. I can rap like Tony, but he's got to stick to playing centre-half, by the way, because he won't be a rapper. I think Travis Scott and Lil Wayne are lining up at the back for Walsall tomorrow, probably. I know his brother John. Levi Colwell and Livramento maybe just having a chat about the gap they left in behind for Liverpool's equaliser there, or maybe not. We may need to see even more, have to keep going to the well and asking Tino Livramento to keep on going. Once more, we find Chelsea waiting for an opponent to turn up here, just what we do on the Southampton front tomorrow. And Tony Rudiger there, I always find it fascinating how a change of management can bring something you haven't thought of. And we've seen Callum Hudson-Odoi coming in and being a wing-back. I just wonder if Tino Livramento involved in this early chance here might, I don't know, next season be the next one knocking on the door. We've seen Tariq Lamptey was knocking on the door, got a game. Probably actually be a brilliant wing-back in this current setup. But Livramento could do it, couldn't he? Yeah, the irony of Tariq Lamptey going to Brighton after that good performance against Arsenal. He came on as sub against Arsenal, did really well at the Emirates, and obviously went off to Brighton. And I still can't get my head around that, by the way. A year and a half later, I do not understand what the young man was doing. Although obviously, because I think he'd have had a great chance here. I mean, Dave, I suppose. Well, Dave was getting already older. There with Reece James, I guess. Well, they might have said we've already got a guy who can play right back and wing back. I think you've got to back yourself. I think, you know, if you're looking at yourself in the mirror and going, am I as good as Reece James? I think he backs himself. Because at the moment, I think the jury would be out on who the best wing-back would be if you looked at Lamptey's performance in a Brighton shirt. Unfortunately, he's injured at the moment and not playing many games. But, you know, and I think Reece has done well, but it don't be even money for me that who would have got the shirt. And as I said, I'm disappointed he didn't back himself. That, for me, wasn't a good test of character. But I suppose he would say, I'm just being devil's advocate here, I made my choice. When fit, I'm now a regular Premier League footballer. And yeah. And you're saying that he might have made that
might have made that step.
And listen, who am I? Because at the end of the day, he's also been linked already with coming back to London at Arsenal and places like that. So, you know, it's only press talk, but at the end of the day, you know, if his performances shine like that, and Brighton are always going to be in these sort of relegation sort of battles, he may want to be playing up a level or two, and look at his performance, he's capable of that. Going back to this game here, Ben, just quickly. Andy Myers' team talk, what do you reckon that was about? Because he must have been delighted with his team, and yet, they, as you said in commentary, they find themselves 2-1 down, having played very, very well.
Half-time change for Liverpool. We didn't see much of Louis Longstaff. He's being replaced here by Elisha Dixon-Bonner, who's been knocking around the Liverpool Academy sides for a while, one of their Youth Cup winners. And a youth team player under Steven Gerrard before he moved on to Rangers. What a game that was for them last night, incidentally. I don't know if any of you saw it. The Antwerp game, absolutely ridiculous. Red cards, penalties, late drama, stoppage time goals in both halves, and they won that first leg 4-3, did Rangers.
He's got them buzzing, hasn't he, Steven Gerrard? I mean, obviously they've spoilt the record that Celtic were going for this year, and so he's done a good job there, but they really are buzzing up there. Funny,
yes,
going back
10 in a row ain't happening, is it?
No, that's definitely
maybe we'll see a 4-3 here tonight.
Yeah, let's hope so. But I saw Louis Longstaff chatting to the coaching staff on the way out, way off the pitch at half-time there. So obviously had a little bit of a niggle by the looks of it, because he was sort of, you can see he was complaining a little bit about an ache and a pain.
In case you weren't with us for the first half, folks, Liverpool's keeper came off in first half stoppage time. So Jakub Orzinski, the Polish backup, is on for just his second PL2 appearance, much like Ethan Wadey at the other end. So let's see if Chelsea can test out what he's got.
Well, there'll be no Polish goalkeepers here next year, that's for sure. There's no, they're not allowed in 16 or 18 now. New rules.
Very true. Will mean all sorts of changes, I guess, for people in your sideline business.
Yeah.
When you're not commentating. There is Orzinski.
Connor, make sure we lock down,
They've got a famous Brazilian keeper in Alisson, Marcelo must look up to. They used to have a famous Polish keeper, didn't they, Liverpool? Jerzy Dudek.
Yeah, Jerzy, yeah. Won the Champions League with them. Was he?
How did Sheva miss that one in extra time? Dujon Sterling puts it behind. We're rambling, excuse me. It's a Liverpool corner here, a minute and a half into this second half, and I kind of want to see Dujon Sterling grab this game a little more. It's one of the senior juniors out there. Defensive heads on here, boys. It's deep and loopy. Morgan Boy's got up there, went for the header. Seemed to lose his mid-air balance, if there is such a thing. He's complaining about a penalty.
Yeah, I think Daniel Simon made contact there, and we saw in the first half a little bit of a spat, wasn't there?
Oh, Dion Rankin, off you go. He's shrugged off the foul. Dion Rankin, he's put it wide. Just maybe enough pressure bearing down on him. He did really well to get away from the attempted foul challenge there from Owen Beck.
Well, I think, first of all, that's a yellow card, because he's definitely pulled him back here, so I think the referee, whether he's missed the target or not here, he pulls him back. That, for me, is a yellow card. He's still got enough legs to get away from the fullback here, opens his body out, and literally, I mean, that's a poor finish. He's done so well to get in that situation, and the finish doesn't do it justice.
It hasn't happened anyway, it's all hypothetical.
Owen Beck, naughty boy, a challenge, I guess, worth making there. And Dion Rankin, I like the fact he backed himself, because actually you'd see quite a lot of players now would just go down to try and get the player in trouble.
Absolutely.
Rankin's had a great chance in both halves now.
And to be fair, I mean, I know Dion's quick, but I would have thought one of the two fullbacks would have caught him there. But we know the right-back, Conor Bradley's already been booked for the foul on Tino Livramento in the first half, so he couldn't make contact.
Fia Bema just crowded out.
Well, again, it's a frenzied start, isn't it, to the second half, that's for sure.
Livramento, brilliant. He gets away from the Tyler Morton shirt pull.
Oh, so
as then Morgan Boyce comes flying in.
What is the referee doing here? He's not made contact with the ball.
There's two blatant free kicks there not given.
Well,
Actually,
first
thought he
of
had
all,
quite a good first half, the ref.
Watch this again, because he's actually tackling with his wrong foot here. He's left-footed, as I said in the game there. He's not made contact with the ball at all. Well, maybe just rolled over the top of it. But the follow-through, that's
He's
a free
taken
kick.
out Harley Vale beforehand.
Absolutely. He's had a poor start the second half, the referee.
Go on then, we're all going.
That ranking break came off the back of it. Actually, Liverpool shouting for a penalty at the other end. So he's had quite a lot to think about the opening minutes here.
Well, as I said, do you remember in the first half there was that corner and there was that little bit of a spat between Simu and the centre half boys, and the referee had to have a word with them, and it's the same occasion there.
Bradley. Dixon Bonner. Clarkson left that, thinking that Leighton Stewart might get a touch, but as we know, that seems to be impossible tonight for Liverpool's number 9. That's a neat little roll from Bradley. There's Stewart. Clarkson, Chelsea back in number here. 3-1 really would feel like burglary. Bradley's out of position.
Great ball, George McKickman again. I think it was a foul on the halfway line.
Has fouled Morgan Boys, has he?
Was it
Referee
deliberate?
saw that one.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly right. Fear Beamer's actually, I'm not sure it's deliberate, Ben. It's one of them where, you know, you come across, he's making a run, the defender's trying to get back. I'd like to see it again. There they are there, they're making contact. And you can see there, that's not deliberate.
Does he know that's happened? I mean, if he's done that deliberately, he's sneakier than Ricky Carvalho. And no one's sneakier than Ricky Carvalho. I suppose Fear Bayman knows that's happened.
No, he doesn't. But I suppose letter of the law, if Chelsea keep possession, Fear Bayman's through one-on-one, so I don't know, I can see some justification, but it looked harsh.
He's not going for Brian Fear-Baymer at the moment. Such a super start. Penalty he scored against Liverpool was one of 6 he'd got in the opening 3 or 4 weeks of the season for youth team and PL2. Scored in the Youth Cup as well. Nothing since October for one of the relatively few newer recruits.
Oh, there's another
Brian
injury.
Yeah,
Here, been to their best player.
Yeah,
Leighton Clarkson
looks
in
he's
midfield.
struggling here.
Yeah.
Put the ball out for him, and that might be an early end to the evening. He's going to sit down. Treatment required.
Well, I think he's sitting down to give the substitute time to warm up, and I think he'll still look like he might go off, but he's been their best player. He's been their talisman in midfield. He really makes them tick in there, and he's a very tidy little player, very much in the mould of our own Lewis Bate.
Well, Barry Lutus has already made a couple of changes, hasn't he, the Liverpool boss? He's brought on Dixon Bonner at the break, and Ozinski, the keeper, in the right at the end of the first half. So if he does have to replace Clarkson, that's an if at the moment, but if he does...
That's a muscle injury,
that
Ben.
You'd think that that's a quad gone or something,
yeah, that is
wouldn't
a
you?
quad, exactly that. Yeah, you can't play with them, unfortunately. And so, because he's twisting and turning in midfield areas and making tackles, so the best player's coming off.
And they're going to play 40 minutes without the opportunity of making any further changes. So Tom Clayton coming on here, who actually normally plays anyway, quite often at right back. Just looking at some of their facts and figures, he played every minute of this season, Tom Clayton, till tonight. So the first time he'd not been in the lineup. But whether or not he'll play as a dictator in central midfield, well, it looks like he's taken up that position, in fairness.
Well, I think they're hard boots to fill, because, as I said, that young man was probably their best player and made them tick. So let's hope it disrupts their play a little bit.
Straight into the action there, Clayton. It's neatly done by Sterling.
Nice, you're in between, you're fine in between.
Colwell. Testing little ball there. Fear-Baymer's nearly turned into something.
I'm not sure. Does he give offside here or something? Because the referee's blown up. But it's a great little. No, there's no chance he's offside. It's a great little ball in behind. And to be fair to Fear-Baymer, as I said, he's not ducking the issue here.
He was given as offside, so maybe he started and then
maybe bent his run slightly too late. That's only, you know, as I said, he looked behind the centre half boys when he made his run. But As I said, maybe he started in an offside position and came back.
The flag raised. Must have been a very tight one. Still an eventful game, this. It's had the promise of goals right from kick-off. We've seen 3. We could easily have seen more. Andy Myers has not gone to his bench yet.
Oh, no.
Woodburn nearly in. You're joking. It's 3-1, and we've said Leighton Stewart now. He's not been spotted with radar, but he's pounced on another defensive lap. 3 mistakes all night long from Chelsea back there, and every single one has been punished by a goal.
Again, this is just a simple ball, high played in behind the defenders. We let it bounce, it goes up in the air. This, look, he just hooks it up there. We let it bounce, and once you let it bounce, you'll bang in trouble. And all of a sudden, the ball, I think it's Daniel Semmer on the shoulder, and it falls into the striker, who hasn't had a touch all game. As you rightly said, Ben, he hasn't been sighted with radar, but he picks up the pieces of that, sniffs this one out, and finds himself on the score sheet. Unreal.
Sterling and Simeo as well. 2 of the more solid players you could call on for a defensive situation. I'm absolutely amazed that between them there, they've not been able to sort that out. George McEachran standing on the edge of the centre circle with his hands on his hips. Now he's got the ball at his feet. Man, absolutely astonished, as we all are. Said 3-1 would feel like burglary. Well, it really does. But if you make mistakes, prepare to be punished. Chelsea have missed great chances to score further goals tonight. 2 or 3 players have been guilty. Colwell's just overplayed it for the first time tonight there. Bet Barry Lutus can't believe it, and Andy Myers would just be shaking his head on the touchline. 2-1 was bad enough, but 3?
Well, I did say halfway through the first half we're keeping him in the game, but these mistakes are, you know, they're unplayable. You can't do anything about them as a team. I mean, the defenders have got to do better. The goalkeeper for the second goal, and the 2 defenders there just watch the ball bounce. You've just got to make contact and get it out that danger area. And the other boys are sitting around going, how are we losing this game?
A miss-hit pass from the keeper can happen, but in a way that one there's the worst of the lot. That's just a hopeful thump upfield. That is not a goal to be conceding at, well, at any half-decent level of football, frankly. But anyway, come back they must. Lewis Bate has bought himself a free kick there from Jake Kane that might have been on the generous side.
Yeah, well, again, Lewis is trying to sort of get his body in the way there, and there's definitely contact, but again, it looks a half decision. But I don't think he's had the opening 15 minutes of the second half. I don't really think he's had a great time, the referee, with his decision-making. But looks harsh, but there was contact.
Liverpool beat... Oh, hang on.
Do me a favour.
He's gone for a shot there, Kane. Good luck.
Michael Kane, eh?
Maybe they are getting cocky. That might help Chelsea out. There's more than half an hour to play here. I was just going to say, Liverpool beat Chelsea 3-1 earlier this season. They were much the better side that night, and it was only a 1 from Fia Bamer there late on in the game. This has been the opposite of that, and yet the scoreline is the same. Here's Rankin. 2 really good chances tonight, Dion Rankin.
Yeah, he's missed the target on both occasions. Ben went through almost one-on-one, and that's disappointing. I mean, there's been a lot of disappointing finishes from a Chelsea perspective, but as I said,
Harvey Bell had a chance, didn't he? And indeed, after he'd scored, Ballo, a pretty good chance there. Ball on his left foot, hit it, scuffed it really straight at the keeper.
But you can't make defensive mistakes like we have it, for the second and third goals and expect to win football matches. And it's a tough gig. And Andy, as a defender as well, will really be looking at that and going, we've got to do better with that just plain bouncing ball played in behind us.
Might be time for the goal machine. Jude Soon-Sup-Bell.
Yeah. Well, we need a spark, don't we? Because it's gone flat. I mean, it's not 15 minutes gone in this second half, and you can see the boys themselves looking at it as if to say, what have we got to do here? They've got to get their game played. Not panic early doors. 1 goal will put them right back in the game, because Liverpool aren't full of confidence at this level either.
Soon-Sup-Bell is coming shortly, folks. Getting stripped and ready on the touchline. Haven't even played an hour yet. Here's Kane. Good challenge from McEachran.
Yeah, come on, you're in. Yes,
How far back Livramento was there. Another very ambitious effort. This one coming in from the recently arrived Clayton, who has scored 3 goals this season.
Jake, just find them areas of when we're dribbling and passing in the middle, yeah? Okay, all of us, yeah?
Double change. One player we know plenty about on the right there, Jude Soon-Sup-Bell, and one we know nothing about. Declan Frith, the trialist, is going to be showing us what he's got. Soon-Sup-Bell there is now the youngest player on the field for the Blues. 16 goals this season, including one on his full PL2 debut against Man United. Well, he is on. The hope is that Chelsea will get him the ball, and there is Declan Frith.
Welcome to Chelsea, young man.
Trialist. I'd love to tell you more about him. Oh, the first pass to him was a shocker. Thanks very much for that. It's not what I want on my debut, thank you very much.
Welcome to the game. He's picking up that role that Dion Rankin had down this left-hand side here, and sort of at that wing-back role. And Dion actually has had a decent game, but as we both just said, you know, unfortunately he's finishing in the final third, just let him down.
So I thought he did the back part of the wing-back role pretty well, and decent balance there, but great chance in either half. Andy Myers swapping them there and swapping the centre forwards. Andy Myers already making sure the referee's adding this on. Surely Liverpool aren't time wasting this. Maybe they are. Bait. Frith, nicely done. Good crisp pass. I like him already. He's had a trial at Charlton and he's at Sutton United, but on trial with the Blues here.
Nothing between, lies, nothing between.
A new name for us all, and maybe, who knows? He's made a little inside run here, and McEachran's got it. That's in towards Barlow. Oh, nicely done. And then Soon-Sup-Bell.
Steady.
Just too eager in the end, Barlow.
Yeah, Tiana Barlow just get out a free card for the fullback there. He had nowhere to go. Looks as though he's run out of ideas, and Barlow comes and trips him.
So, fancy footwork. Frith trying to get out of his way there. Declan Frith.
There's a little bit of suspicion, just a suspicion of his arm there, the young right back, but got away with it.
Move across! Yes, lies on the back of the 8, lies.
Barlow beaten to it by Owen Beck.
Lies high enough so you can affect that one, yeah.
Livramento now back in his familiar right-hand side wing-back role, and obviously Dujon Sterling behind him. They linked up really well in the Arsenal game we did recently, so let's hope they can get some quality in there, and hopefully Soon-Sup-Bell can finish one of them.
The subject of trialists. Recalling the other day, Paul Cannaville, who is in our thoughts at the moment. When he had his Chelsea trial, he was sleeping in an abandoned car. One of many brilliant Paul Cannaville stories. Read the book if you haven't, folks. Barlow. Mento will always back himself to somehow power away from any situation. Almost looked like he'd just run out of power there for a moment. He normally can keep on going at the same pace for 90 minutes. It's one of his great assets, actually. Kumetio, well, he'll be feeling a lot better now, won't he? That's a dangerous ball, dealt with by Daniel Simeon.
They have done that probably 6-7 times today. Simple balls played over the top that defenders haven't reacted quickly enough, been knocked down into areas which have been very dangerous. Fortunately, we've got away with it, but for all the good football they play out from the back, as I said, one or two of the balls hooved in behind have created big problems.
Leave him on it. Left, lies, left.
Still a long time to go. Fifth on the chase here. Safety first from Conor Bradley.
Well chased down from the young man, Frith, though. Didn't give it up and made the fullback make a decision.
Hey, and just go towards our goal a bit so you can do the 8, yeah?
Close up, Bell loses out. Clayton with the switch. Their passing's been better in this second half, Liverpool. They've been helped by Chelsea to get back in the game and then take complete charge of it.
Woodburn's looking for a free kick there. Woodburn's first touch was brilliant. Livramento, well-timed challenge. But we give the ball away again. And again. Just gone a little bit ragged. I think that third goal's really taken the steam out of our boys, you know, and we've gone a little bit ragged, trying to hit maybe a killer ball or two. And just have to play our game, and we know from that first half performance that we're good enough to compete against these.
So you can do the centre half as well, lads. Yes, we're in.
In the title season last term, there were lots of comebacks, even from 2 down. We've seen it this term as well. Tottenham game that had a little bit of everything.
Well, that
Manchester City as well.
The Tottenham game, though, Ben, we were awful, and for 45 minutes, it was probably the worst performance I've seen from a PL2 team in the last 4 or 5 seasons. It was that bad, and it didn't look like we were playing Tottenham. But the second half, they got that enthusiasm back in and ended up winning the game quite comfortably. But we need that turnaround again tonight very quickly because, you know, as I said, the boys just dropped their shoulders a touch.
Turn back in the Blues' favour quickly enough, and there's plenty of time to do it.
Yes, Ben, turn!
Enough of them have been involved in some of these brilliant comebacks over the last 12 months or so. Lewis Bate just going with his runner Woodburn as Beck comes in field.
But 3-1 up, and all of a sudden Woodburn's in the game. He's in them positions higher up the pitch. He's getting it in the final third. He's finding little spaces in between the lines and starting to affect the game.
And these little passes that they hadn't been putting together at all, Liverpool. They didn't in the first half. It's given away again. Here's Kane. Well, they really have been given away back into this game. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Clipped in by Morton. There's so much more confidence about them. Different 1-0 down or 3-1 up. They look like a different team, but they've been allowed to be that. It's not really been them improving as such. They've been given the licence to improve, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, now we've played them back into the game 1,000,000% for sure.
Bradley here, solid challenge. And then it's on target from Tom Clayton, but nothing more than that.
Come on, you! Well done! Connor, talk to Morgan!
Yes, lads, in!
Brady goes long. Kumetio, tall enough to win that header. Biggest player on the field.
He's done well, suits up well there.
Oh, he has. It was a distant second favourite. Here's Frith. Can he find a teammate in the middle? Oh, thought he'd scored for a minute. It's only a corner. It was very nearly 3-2.
Well, what a way for a trialist to introduce himself to the club that would have been. And Soomsup Bell does fantastic because the ball gets caught under his feet and he shrugs off a couple of challenges. The young man, Frith's first touch is really good there. And all of a sudden he strikes it, and it's a good save from the keeper because I think that's going in.
Really strong hand because it's a really strong shot. He has leathered that. Good effort, on target, I think. I'm with you. I reckon that was probably going into the far side netting off a good first touch as well. We'll have him. In comes the corner.
And that's the first save, I think, or since he's had to make since he's come on a sub. So again, a good way to introduce yourself into the game.
It is. Sterling. Maybe that'll just be a little boot up the bum for the boys in blue. Kickstart them into action again. McEachran, well, he sees passes that plenty of others don't, and no one saw that one.
No, and I think, again, Tieno Ballow's slightly guilty of making a run and stopping halfway through it. George McEachran thought he was going to continue with it and didn't, and you can see George, the disappointment etched on George's face there.
Yes, if he sees just a hint of movement, he will play that pass. As you say, if someone then puts the brakes on, it ends up looking foolish, but such fine margins. It's taken 20-odd minutes for Jakub Olszynski to be challenged in this game. That was a very strong hand. Could easily have just burst right through and fallen anywhere, or indeed gone into the net. Bale's gone quiet. That was his ball. Frith has left it behind for Morton to pick up. Boys. The disappointment doubled, really, if this does end in defeat, and that is still quite an if. Free kick given against Barlow there, because it's happened twice in a week. They head on Monday night against Derby, and could have got further clear in that. Ahead tonight should have been further clear, and could end up with no points out of 6. But, you know, here to learn and all that, Tommy.
Well, yes,
but here to win.
And sometimes you learn a lot through defeats as opposed to winning every week. But it is disappointing. I mean, you look at the Derby game. You know, we saw the goals conceded; they were poor, especially the second one, obviously. And you look at the goals tonight. Teams aren't working for goals against us, Ben. That's the problem. And you know, it's far too easy.
Bradley's cross is too deep, thankfully. Yes, there have been a few. Thinking that was a Brighton game, the defeat early in the season, there was a mistake in there. And even in that Spurs game, with the eminent Mr. Cech in goal, those 2 goals they scored were not exactly glorious from a defensive point of view. Goal kick here.
Look, you know, they're kids. They're going to make mistakes. You know, senior pros make mistakes, but unfortunately, these are killing us at the moment. And games we should be winning and getting points from end up being nights like tonight.
Yes, you just hope that they aren't all punished, and funnily enough, they have been tonight. If this is a Premier League game, well, that's a dangerous ball, and it's going to drop here for Morton, and then Leighton Stewart. And Simeo gets enough on the block. Yeah, I was just going to say, if this was a Champions League game and you make 3 errors like, I don't know, like Chelsea did against Bayern or Barcelona a few years ago under Conte, 3 mistakes that night in the Nou Camp, bang, 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 they score from all of them. Yep. Okay. You would hope at this level you might actually get away with 1 or 2, maybe be punished by one of them, but 3 errors all ending in a goal 2 seconds later.
Yeah, exactly that, because the quality is, you know, obviously at this age shouldn't be that great, but it is, and certainly the second goal from Morton was a great finish, but we give it to him on a plate.
Livramento still going. Will he go all the way? He will. There's another one to add to the list. The young player having a brilliant season has banged Chelsea back into contention. I knew it would work if it went on enough about how they'd let in some sloppy goals and scored at the other end. And it's Tino Livramento.
Well, if you want someone to pick the baton up and give it a go, this young man will always do that. Look at this. He cuts in on his left foot, cuts in again, and then sives through the defence and smashes with his left foot into that near post. The goalkeeper looks like he's unsighted because obviously he didn't make an effort for it. He might have got a slight defection as well, but great finish from Tino, and he deserves it. He's been superb again tonight.
So might this be another one of those comebacks that we saw so many of last term?
You know, at half-time, Ben, we showed an Eden Hazard goal against Southampton, who cut in from the left, dummied a few people, and then eventually shot. Is very similar to that goal there. And well done, young man. As I said, he impresses me every time I see him.
18, not that long 18 either. November. Tino Livramento. Such a consistent performer this term. Early front runner. I say early, we're Well, past halfway through now.
Oh, it's a foul.
PL2 Player of the Year, unofficially given by Ben Andrews and Tommy Langley. I think we'll have Bate and Livramento right up there. Free kick for Liverpool here.
Totally agree. And you know what's disappointed me since the start of it? Lewis Bate and George McEachran haven't really bossed the midfield. Their best midfield player's gone off, and I expect them to get on the ball a little bit more, Ben, and give us that chance to go forward. But they're passing out from the back in the opening sort of 15 minutes of the second half was poor.
Just thought Kanté might have made another mistake there. Soon Sup Bell was sniffing around. Well, here is Bate. Colwell.
Inside as well, Lawrence. Let's go.
Bradley to Dixon Bonner. Neat little touch there from Bate.
What a ball.
What a pass that is. And it's Livramento again. Go on, keep going. Why not? Thought he's going to do it again. Their Bate's taken over.
Yeah, a little bit of indecision there. And,
now they're all back.
Yeah, he should have gone like he did for the goal, but he looked up, was looking to pick somebody out, and that indecision cost him.
We need to get pressure on when we can, Tom. When we can.
Oh, Billy, pass over.
Yeah, go on then, Leon. Next one, Leon. Next one. Yes, Lige. Yes, Lige. Go on then. Go on then.
Simeon, 15 to play plus stoppage time. Probably be a fair bit of that.
Yes, Connor. Release, Tom.
Bate, expansive pass, just too much on it.
I think Frith made the run in there as opposed to staying on the line. I think the ball from Lewis Bate was the right idea, but Frith obviously just on a different wavelength. And when you're a trialist, it's very hard to get up to speed.
Bate again.
Yes,
You know who again. Just enough fade on that into the path. Livramento, deep cross. Soon Sup Bell round the back. It's going to be a corner, is it, ref?
Yeah, let's give it.
Yes, it is. Excellent decision.
Again, Lewis Bates spraying that ball with his left foot. It is a wand of a left foot, wasn't it? And it's like a free iron, just driven just above the turf there, and given Livramento every time to get out of his feet and get a good ball into the box.
Right, Daniel Simeon. Time for a captain's header, I think, here. George McEachran. All about the delivery. Not bad. Kanté got the first head on it. Back into the mix. Back out again.
Oh, it's not on, is it?
Sterling trying to do his Lewis Bate impression. Ballo got there.
Oh, he's got a chance.
And everyone stopped. Soon Sup Bell. Tight angle. Closed down. Bizarre moment there from the Liverpool fullback, and the cross is too deep. And that hasn't gone out either. Wakey, wakey, everybody. That's extraordinary.
Bizarre.
30 seconds of football that was.
Everybody stopped twice. Oh, well. That is mental.
Just wait till you're set. Wait till you're set, Tom. Information.
Bate. It's on again. He's played it again.
Great.
And Ballow's going to get there again.
Oh,
no.
he's give offside.
He's offside.
You can't press everything, so we've got time. Stays a block.
But again, Lewis Bate, George McEachran now getting on the ball, now spraying the ball around like they were in the first half and dominating that midfield area.
Just starting to put the pressure on, and I'm always sceptical when cramp arrives. It never seems to arrive for players on the losing side. Here's another look at this. Lewis Bate ball. Ballo got there. Flag up. Pulled up with something there, maybe it is cramp, but as you say, Bate just perhaps a little belatedly and unusually for him doing that, and looks like he's coming off here. Final change.
No, I think
from Andy Mars, or is it a team talk? No,
it's
just a chat, I think, while
a bit of fluid,
that player gets
some fluids into you.
I doubt Lewis Bate will be coming off. Well, they've done a lot of good things tonight. They really have. They've also made a handful of lapses at the other end, and almost all of them have been punished.
Hey, when we're in that, stay on, double up. Hey, Tom, but when we're up here, it's good, but when we have to.
Can't make any more changes, so presumably he'll come on in some capacity. There's Tino Livramento taking matters into his own hands. Boom. Might even have been a nick on the way through, but...
Yeah, I think he got a slight deflection, but he deserved that. I mean, he sold 2 defenders down the river. I mean, you'd be disappointed if you're the Liverpool coach there that they didn't do more to get to him, but he cut in field, and it was a great strike. And 10 minutes to go, 11 minutes to go now of time. What, 4 or 5 injury, perhaps. We've got 15 minutes maybe to get that goal back and maybe even a winner.
Scored in the Youth Cup against Barnsley, scored against Arsenal as well earlier this season. Tino Livramento. He actually started a UEFA Youth League match for the Blues when he was 15.
Nope.
It's a cheeky touch from Frith, and a barge on Vale brings a free kick to the Blues here. As we approach the final 10. How about that?
Yeah. Well, listen, when you're in on trial and you've got to show something, and he certainly doesn't lack confidence, does he?
I was going to say, some chops to do that. Imagine if he does that and then he misses it and it goes off for a throw. It was Morgan Boyes with an illegal shoulder after that.
And you know, everything is right in front of Andy Miles. He couldn't have got any closer if he tried.
Cheeky monkey. In it comes from Bates. Keeper came. Defender went for the same ball. Surely, if anyone's fouled anyone there, unless that maybe there was a push of the defender into the goalkeeper. Boy's in the thick of it. Did he get shoved in towards his own keeper here? The only reason I can think of why this would be given. What's wrong with anything
What is wrong
there?
with that? I mean, come on. The goalkeeper makes a decision. To be fair to Boyes, he does really well, because he does what defenders should do, and if it's in his area, he gets rid of it, and doesn't rely on the goalkeeper to come or make a mistake.
Seeing a lot of that at the moment. Something with Tony Rudiger and Mendy the other day, didn't we, in the Sheffield United game, and indeed Liverpool the weekend with Alisson and the new fellow Ozan Kabak, both communication breakdown there. Here's Simeon with the defending Chelsea.
I know the game evolves, but some of the old values really should be in the game.
Talking to one another,
like
setting the back and goal.
The occasional chat, that might be handy, and smashing the ball into the stand when it's somewhere near your goal, because that's not a crime, by the way, and then pick up the second ball. But you know, I'm into the playing out from the back, but not only when it's on.
Maybe they just read the typo wrong. Outlawed tackling, not talking. Bate.
Oh, Liam, go, there's a flag.
Yes, Lige, and you.
Colwell
There we go, Ben.
to Frith. Dixon Bonner had his positioning right there. He was never going to be able to take him on. He needed him to be tighter there. 8 minutes plus stoppage time.
Yes, Leighton, let's go.
That's it, Ben.
Be ready, yo.
Chelsea and Sutton links. Not Chris Sutton. But, well, Callum's older brother, Bradley Hudson-Odoi, was a Sutton player. Not that long ago. McEachran here. Frith. First touches look good.
Yeah,
it's a nice pass there as well.
Looks tidy on the ball. Oh, it's a great ball.
Well, McEachran, lovely idea. So nearly fell for Livramento. It may still. Tiano Ballo taking over.
Great
You
skill.
feel they're going to get a chance, Tommy. It's pulled back here. Didn't fall for Soonsup Bell. Come on, the 3-3. George McEachran. Sterling.
Go on, Dujon.
Just blast on through Sterling. 4 in the middle. Can he pick him out? It's away from Boyes.
Oh.
And a little tumble, but no one's really claiming it.
I think one of them firework got George McEachran there. Went down in the box, but after all that momentum, the goalkeeper's come and Wadey just smashed it out of touch. Great bit of play here. I mean, to be fair, It's a great little touch from Barlow, but Ben Woodburn's got to do a lot better there as a defender, but that's not his forte.
What a shame.
Stay Tyler. Yes, lies in. Stay tight, back in.
There'll be another chance. There's bound to be. It's the PL2.
Well, this man on the pitch,
and
there's got to be.
on the ball, yeah. Boys is there again. He's generally been positioned quite well, annoyingly, the young Welsh defender tonight, Morgan Boys. Seems to have been...
Oh, no, what is going?
Really? Offside?
He gets some strange decisions as well, the assistant on that side in the second half. I mean, it was the...
Side to side, the two midfield players are playing behind the game. They'll go side to side, Drew. Come on.
Oh, well, kills the game for them.
Well, if he is offside, I want to know how. I just can't see that.
There's no chance in this world he's offside. Wow, 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 wow. Come on, boys. 6 minutes of normal time.
No win in 6, Liverpool. Lost 4 of the last 5 and battered in 3 of them. Chelsea hadn't lost in months until Monday.
No, he's not going to get that.
McEachran does a lot of things well, but he was never going to win that sprint. He's distant second favourite, even if he was as quick as Livramento, which Georgie's not. Don't often see him making breaks like that. That's not really his game, is it?
Exactly.
You never see him as a sort of inside forward, being the furthest forward. He's normally trying to dictate it from somewhere central.
Yeah, of all the massive talent he's got, Jules McEachran, one of them isn't pace, and unfortunately that ball didn't favour him there.
Well, it can make you scratch your head, and Andy Myers will definitely be scratching his at the end of this week. If this does end with 2 defeats in games where they have been, for large chunks of both, comfortably on top. Got to hang on to those leads and got to extend those leads. That'll be the bottom line, really. That's a nice ball. Vale, onside. Great cross. Kumetio's there, otherwise Soonsup Bell would have been tucking that away. Everything about that was brilliant.
Oh, the ball being behind was great. The run from Harvey Vale was superb, and he just didn't hesitate. Smashed it in with his left foot. He's going towards Soonsup Bell, who's just looking to pick the pieces at the far post, and he comes in the centre off Kambashio and actually just takes it away from him. And there he is again.
There again. Was that Levi Colwell with that initial ball?
It was. Yeah, down the left-hand side. But that's what he's capable of. He's fantastic on the ball.
Yes, Con. Out you go, Con.
He's had a really good season. Every time I see him, I think he might be even better than I thought he was the time before. Very optimistic cry of handball from the Liverpool bench, and Colwell making a brilliant tackle there as well. There's that Rolls Royce cruising in again.
I have to say the bench are having a real moan on the Liverpool bench in particular. They might be 3-2 up, but they're panicking a little bit.
Levi Colwell now pitching up as the left winger, and it's a timely challenge coming in from Connor Bradley. The clock very much against the Blues, though. It's 3 minutes plus add-ons here. The most ardent Liverpool fan would be struggling to say that Chelsea don't deserve something from this game.
Yeah.
And needless foul there.
Ben Woodburn showed all his experience there, just flicked it the other side of Dujon Sterling there and fell over, and the referee bought it.
Kingston fireworks show. Chinese New Year?
Well, it is Chinese New Year, isn't it? But,
yes, I'm just wondering if it's something to do with that. Because Anfield,
Chinese
this isn't. They keep letting them off at Anfield, don't they?
That's right, yeah. I've seen it a couple of times.
Well, Woodburn furious, and his boss telling him to calm down. Well done. All right, let's have it up the other end. Wadey. Ethan Wadey calmer than the rest of us.
I think Andy Myers was holding his breath a little bit there, that's for sure.
Well, they've been entertaining again, the PL2 boys here on the 5th stand-up. Whether or not it's going to get them a point or not, well, only the next couple of minutes will tell us. Sterling, Livramento, whose goal made the comeback possible. All his own work. Ballo, who got the early opener. In between, 3 gifts for Liverpool.
Yeah, they're double teaming even Ben Woodburn, and he's coming back and defending there, trying to help his fullback. Another opportunity to get the ball in the box.
Colwell, Simiu. Big boys to aim at. It's another, I think that was Morgan boys again, actually. Lewis Bate here. He's headed everything clear tonight. Colwell. Dreadful ball. I kind of expect there might be 1 or 2 more, maybe gambling there.
I think so. I think a striker, especially you're talking about the 89th minute and you're 3-2 down against Liverpool, get yourself in the box, get across the near post and see if you can nick a goal. But it wasn't the worst ball I've ever seen for sure. But I have to say, even when the ball's gone in the box though, Ben, you know, we've been critical of the mistake Comesio made for the first goal, but him and the other centre-half boys have done really well. They've really sort of made their minds up, got to the ball, headed it clear, and we've not had a lot of joy from crosses into the box.
Well, there you go, 5 added minutes. I thought it might be a good chunk. That's enough time. See if they can play on the nerves. Oh, that's a good-looking ball. Bate to Livramento. How many times have we said that this season? Oh, it's a good cross too, and a clattering challenge.
Yeah, Harvey Val just comes in.
It's a good bit of defending that, to be fair.
Yeah, no, they've been brave at the back, as I just said, from balls into the box, set pieces and crosses generally. They've been very, very good, and I think is that the fullback? I think Connor Bradley. It looks as though it's in his sort of area. Yeah, it's Connor Bradley, and it's not really. It's the follow through of Harvey Val. It doesn't deliberately catch him, but he'll make the most of it for sure.
Really dangerous cross from Livramento. Him and Lewis Bate have got this thing going on, haven't they? It's so often this season you've seen that Bate will get it and McTurn in the middle. He doesn't even necessarily need to look up. He knows who's going to be on the charge down the flank.
You know, that happens a lot in teams. You know, you get a telepathic sort of partnership where you know where he's going to be, and you don't even have to lift your head. And the quality Lewis Bates got with his left foot there, it's a simple get out for him.
To the side, Connor! 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 To the side!
Extra stoppage during stoppage time.
Yes.
Might well go to 96 now. Might well have some late fireworks at Kingsmeadow. Let's hope so. With the ball in the net, way to the left here. Liverpool doing all they can just to nibble away. It's part of the game. It's up to the officials to stop it happening, I suppose. It's always annoying when you're on the receiving end of it, and you always want your players to do it when it's you. So
totally agree. It's
how it works.
It's frustrating, but as I said, if you were 3-2 up in injury time, you'd be killing the game as well.
I remember watching Ben Foster kill half an hour of a game when West Brom came to the Bridge once, and the Chelsea fans were livid with him, and I was thinking, it's Mike Dean who you ought to be cross with, because he was the one doing nothing about it. Flag up on Tino Livramento here, and that'll kill another half minute while Liverpool take this free kick.
I have to say, I think the assistant did get that right. It looked as though he was just drifting offside, and that's what you tend to do, isn't it? You tend to get over anxious, make your run too early. And if you look at the line of the Liverpool defenders there, he's definitely just half a yard offside.
Blood starts to pump a little less, and the adrenaline just dies down with another stoppage, and there'll be maybe we might get to 96, but
it's a corner. Tieno Ballo
it's not where we need the ball, Tom.
No, he's just tried to rescue it. He just slung his leg at it there, and unfortunately he's gone over the Chelsea defenders, and it's gone for a corner. You can see George McEachran, look, he knows what's going on. He's put the ball in the quadrant there, trying to get the Liverpool guys to hurry up, but they're not going to get out of a jog, unfortunately.
So they don't get out. Make sure we got people around it.
Stewart going short to Woodburn. Give the ball back, please. Well, that's going to be a Liverpool ball as well. Livramento will go and be ball boy. Please take it quickly, he says. Sorry, mate.
You know, the weird thing about football, it never ceases to amaze me, is that Leighton Stewart has had one touch of the ball and he'll end up being the match winner.
Yes. Yeah. Never was there a less worthy one. I dare say he'll have had plenty of games where he's run around and worked his socks off and done everything and not scored a goal. I suppose this is...
The three centre-backs have had him in the pocket the whole game. It's, you know, poor defending, gets on the end of it and wins the game.
Right, now or never, boys. Up it goes. Bates saying, give me the ball. I'm going to fire it off somewhere. Here it is. Guess who he's looking for? Just not quite enough juice on it that time. And I think it is time that is running out now for the Blues, and that will probably be that.
Come on, that's one, that's five, come on! Come on, that's come on!
Sterling.
Oh, dude, you've got to smash it.
Maybe he trusts Lewis Bates' left foot more than his own right. Levi Colwell's hit a few nice passes
we did have
tonight.
that little hold up. That's a tough ball. I mean, that's a 60-yard ball.
With and not much to aim at over the top of the defensive player there either. Two eyes on the ref, Dinel Simeo. I don't know why he's not up top, by the way.
Well, we had the stoppage for the Liverpool defender as well, didn't we? So maybe that's unlucky.
Bate looking for the run of Vale. Vale could have had his first PL2 goal tonight. Barlow could have had a couple. Dion Rankin missed a chance in each half. There have been many nearly moments. Chelsea have created far more chances than Liverpool have, but Liverpool are going to take the points here. 10th at the start of the night, having not won in 6. Chelsea 5th, hoping to make up ground on the rivals at the top of the table. We've played 6 after 5 were shown. And this really would be last action hero stuff, but it's not going to happen. It happens sometimes. Unfortunately, it's happened twice to Chelsea this week. Ahead on Monday night against Derby, should have stretched that lead, ended up losing, and the same is true tonight. Liverpool punishing 3 errors, somehow turning a 1-0 deficit into a 3-1 lead. We thought Tino Livramento might have given us a frantic finale, but it wasn't to be. The final score at Kingsmeadow at the end of a disappointing week for Andy Myers is Chelsea 2, Liverpool 3, and lessons to be learnt there for sure. Well, 5 goals tonight, and there could have been many more, but these are the 5. The first coming early on from a mistake from Kingsmeadow, and very nicely finished by Tiana Barlow, Tommy.
Yeah, it was a great finish. I mean, Kingsmeadow had a very good game apart from that unbelievable mistake. There's a good finish. Again, Tino Livramento plays a role in it. He's got plenty to do here, but he cuts across it, hits it into the far post. Good finish from the young man, Tiana Barlow.
He might have had more, but somehow this happened. They got in behind Livramento. It's a tidy finish from Jake Kane, who scored in the win over the Blues at the start of the season, and he made it 1-1 here. There's a very rare chance at that point. Ethan Wadey had not had a save to make, the young American keeper, but unfortunately for him, he played a big part in the second Liverpool goal that followed pretty soon after. Really poor clearance with the left boot, and Tyler Morton did the rest. Nice finish, though. That
was a great finish. I mean, quality finish, and as I said, the goalkeeper, he's got to look at himself. He's just got to get the ball out of danger area, but his first touch was good. It actually looped up nicely for him. It's like a sort of a half volley lob, and technique was real good, hit the target.
This was just a hopeful ball forward by Tyler Morton, but it caused a bit of a problem for Simeo and Sterling, 2 of the most experienced defenders back there, and Leighton Stewart, who, as Tommy was just saying at the end of the game, had not had a kick, has ended up as the match winner. His only shot of the night, that was through the legs of Ethan Wadey, and inconceivably that made it 3-1. And here is where Bate and Ballo, between them, got the ball to the danger man, Tino Livramento. Doesn't matter where he plays, he's always the danger man, and he made it 3-2.
Yeah, he was our best player on the night, Tino, as he has been in the last few games I've commentated on. He cuts in here, looks up, cuts in again with his left foot, smashes it into the near post, and at that stage we thought we were back in with a chance. Wasn't to be.
So back-to-back defeats for the Blues at under-23 level. On first team duty tomorrow, we hope for a continuation of the run. That is for Southampton, who've lost 5 on the spin, and for Chelsea, who've won 5 on the spin. Tuchel's boys are at St Mary's for the early kickoff. Don't forget that, and join us on the 5th stand-up from 11 for the team news as soon as it hits, and all the pre-match chat with the team there. But for now, from Tommy Langley and I, it's good night. Have a good weekend.